name is Emma Sutherland. I am a clinical naturopath and nutritionist. I've been treating clients for over 14 years now. I'm an author, and one of my key passions is helping women to get their mojo back. I run a popular online program called Emma's Community Cleanse. I'm a certified health nut for sure, and I'm a mum to Sophia, who's 3.5.
Hi, my name is McDonald. I am a clinical nutritionist and exercise enthusiast. I have been working in the health and wellness industry for over 10 years, 8 of which as a personal trainer specialising in weight loss. I am currently studying my Bachelor in Health Science Naturopathy and I'm a mum to one gorgeous girl named Charlie with another bubba on the way.
So why Studio U? Because we are passionate about empowering women to take control of their health. Studio U allows us to share our clinical knowledge as well as evidence-based information in a user-friendly format.
So what's Studio U's mission? Studio U offers a short, sweet fix of knowledge for the woman who takes a healthy interest in her well-being, inside and out. Each month, we will bring you a different topic in 4 parts.
Week 1 is Explanation Week, giving you the ins and the outs, the understandings you need to have around the topic. You're going to feel like an expert after this 101 session.
Week 2, we will explore the signs and the symptoms so you can see if that topic affects you on a personal level.
Week 3, I think, is going to be our most popular week because this is Treatment Week, our clinical experience distilled into perfect pearls for you to walk away with.
And week 4 is our summary week. This is where we will give you a specific action plan to implement all the information that we have shared with you along the way.
So welcome to Series 1, Episode 2 on the topic of adrenal health. Now week 1, first of all, I want to talk about my experience with adrenal health because it's been long, complicated and challenging, but it really is an area of specialty to me in clinic. I think for about the last 5 years, I've really been focusing on this area clinically, and I guess going through it myself has a lot to do with why I attract clients that have adrenal problems. But for me, my adrenal issues generally really were triggered by the birth of my daughter, Sophia. As a single mom, I was really struggling with that, and that's when the adrenal fatigue really kicked in for me around that time. And it was completely debilitating, and I'm still kind of working through the other side of it, but I think it's important to know that many people do suffer from adrenal fatigue. That being said though, I do want to differentiate between burnout and adrenal fatigue because they're 2 completely different things. So burnout is when your cortisol levels are really quite high, right? Whereas adrenal fatigue is when your cortisol levels are low. Your adrenals have completely exhausted themselves. So just a little kind of note there for you to be aware that many people have burnout. It's very common in 21st century life, but fewer people have adrenal fatigue.
So this is what episode 2 is going to focus on, adrenal health.
Now, did you know that 1 in 4 Australians report that moderate to severe levels of stress last year? Almost 1 in 5 Australians reported that their current stress was having a really strong impact on their physical health.
Research has found long-term elevated cortisol levels are associated with an increased risk of both cardiovascular disease and diabetes. This is equivalent to the effects of traditional cardiovascular risk factors such as being overweight and smoking.
That's nuts. So if you smoke, that's like they're having the same risk factor as being really stressed. That's insane, right? Well, it's funny because research has even confirmed that stress can turn your hair grey. Now, cortisol levels directly impact the hair cells that give hair its colour. This is also involved in pigment changes on your skin. I mean, I got my first grey hairs after my adrenal fatigue with Sophia, so it makes sense, right? Now let's give you an overview of your adrenals. They're located just above the kidneys. They're kind of walnut sized, and they're responsible for producing a lot of really important hormones, adrenaline and cortisol. Progesterone, you know how important that is from our last episode on menstrual health. DHEA, estrogen and testosterone. Now the most important hormone to help your body deal with stress is called cortisol, which the glands release in high amounts during stressful times. Let's have a look at where your adrenals are. Let's give you a bit of a 101 on that. So your adrenals are located just on top of your kidneys. If you put your hands at your back, go below your ribs, they'll be tucked right in there.
I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about cortisol and in the right quantities, how it is absolutely essential for good health. Cortisol helps to maintain our normal blood sugar levels. So when your adrenals are highly active, they release a larger amount of cortisol. This causes glucose to get dumped into our bloodstream. So here you have to watch for a blood sugar spike. It also helps to mobilize fat and protein stores for energy. And cortisol modifies most blood cells that participate in immune and inflammatory reactions. It affects our blood vessels and therefore blood pressure and electrolyte levels in the heart.
It does so much. It's not a dirty word, that's for sure. It also influences your central nervous system, controlling mood and behavior. It's got such an important role within our body. Cortisol in itself is not a bad thing. But during acute or high stress periods or prolonged periods of stress, that's when the problems arise because the adrenal glands become overworked and they're just unable to keep up with demand.
During the early stages of stress, your nervous system and your adrenals are under constant stimulation, activating your sympathetic nervous system and elevating your cortisol levels. This is known as the flight or fight response. At this stage, anxiety gets worse, insomnia kicks in, nervousness and a racing mind may also occur, and in more severe cases, breathlessness, palpitation and even tremors may manifest.
Yeah, look, it's awful to feel like this. It's absolutely awful. Now, an overstimulated sympathetic nervous system also results in a decreased production of all your digestive enzymes, and that then causes digestive and gut problems. Now, we're going to be doing a whole episode on gut health, so just wait for that one. We'll talk more about that then. But over time, the prolonged stress causes your adrenals to become depleted. They just can't keep up with demand. And therein lies the biggest problem, adrenal fatigue. Now, research shows that hypocortisolism is linked to fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, and autoimmune disease. Now, with the real kind of increase of autoimmune disease that we're seeing in our communities and in our clients, you've got to wonder whether it's triggered by an adrenal event. I mean, I'm sure it is.
Okay, well that's it for week 1. Jump over to our Facebook page, like the graphic on adrenal health, comment one key learning point that you learnt from today, then PM us your email address. We will send you a link to an online adrenal test. Be sure to stay tuned for week 2, signs and symptoms.
We look forward to seeing you again then.